Hello, hello, welcome to a secret live stream that I just last minute decided to do. I think I'm just bursting at the seams to talk about Traitors. There's so much good TV going on right now, and I'm kind of like mad that last season of Traitors I did not talk about it on my channel because it's reality TV and I'm obsessed. But also, like, it's so, like, every episode changes so much that I feel like it might be best for live stream type content. Hi, Sophie. We're talking about Traitors. You can join the conversation. Yeah, so I also feel like live streams are fun if people show up. I mean, it's Saturday night. This one might not be the one for people to show up, but because Traitors involve so many different fandoms, like, I know maybe a third of the people there well, but there's so many different shows represented, so I feel like other people can chime in. And if people watch this on VOD, they can also chime in the comments. So feel free to talk about, like, the players that you know and favorites. I watch a lot of shows, but there are a few blind spots for me. Especially, I think my biggest blind spots, honestly, are Big Brother and The Challenge, which are shows that have been very represented in the Traitors US. And I I don't quite get those players most of the time. But I'm excited to see the women Big Brother players right now in season 3 playing because they're very interesting. So, or they have potential and they're still there. It's such a crossover. Oh, sorry, I can't see. People who know Survivor and Housewives must have all the tea. Yeah, Housewives is another. It's not like a fully blind spot for me, but I don't watch the Housewife franchise. I watch Salt Lake City, but they haven't yet had a Salt Lake City representative, which is a crime. They really should bring in because they're wild. But Housewives, I've watched like a tiny bit of Beverly Hills and a couple seasons of Salt Lake City, and that's about it. But for Bravo, I know Vanderpump Rules and Shaw's of Sunset now, which that's more helpful for the last 2 seasons because they had Shaw's of Sunset people. But anyway, yeah, so I wanted to talk about the last few episodes of The Traitors. It's the first 4 episodes because a lot happened and I'm pretty upset. There will be Traitors spoilers for those episodes here, but nothing beyond that point because I haven't seen it yet. So I'm devastated. Okay, yeah, spoilers are beginning, so leave if you haven't seen episode 4, because I am a huge fan of Bob the Drag Queen, who played, a questionable game this season. Very questionable, but I just happen to be like a big fan. So I want to go, I guess, through the cast and the Traitors and kind of like the strategy so far and how I'm feeling about people's games and also like who has been eliminated because there's been a lot of tragic eliminations too. Like a lot of boring people are still there and we lost some like great entertainers so far and that pisses me off as well as a reality TV nut. Yeah, but I do watch Survivor, so this season especially has a lot of Survivor representation. So I feel lucky that I know these players really well. And I guess last season too with Parvati and Sandra, who are iconic. I love them. I wish they can come back. Well, I think Parvati is coming back, like in a cameo role, not a player role. But you never know. I would hope. I can only hope. I always want more Parvati. I'm over all these Survivor guys trying to take over. Obviously, I'm bitter from last episode 4. How that went down. But yeah, let me get into it. Welcome to the Miscellaneous channel. If you're new here, I talk about reality TV, pop culture, internet trends, and other miscellaneous things. Today, reality TV. And yeah. We're live. Not the smoothest intro rolling, but I like to make sure to roll the intro. And I'm going to talk about season 3. I feel like oh, here, I can put the chat on here too. It's small because, let me stream. I'm trying to live stream more this year. It's almost like a resolution, but also don't hold me to it. I need to crop this a little. All right, there. And then I'm going to have, here, I'm going to talk about, doing live technical editing here. Oh, I locked this. I have so much crap on my, there it is. Just trying to show chat. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so episodes 1 through 3 are kind of a blur because they dropped all at the same time. And then episode 4 just happened, so that's very fresh in my memory. And I feel like I need to talk about that. But I want to talk about like who's been eliminated so far. Then I'll talk about the Traitors and their game. And then we'll talk about kind of like the episode and like predictions. And also I want to go through the cast and kind of how people are doing so far. Because everyone's on their own journey. Sorry, I'm sick, so I'm trying not to cough too much. So the first murder we had was tragically Dorinda Medley. And I didn't know much about her, but I have seen the meme that's like, or like the sound, how are you doing? Not well, bitch. That. And she was really funny just in the short time we had her. She threw a tantrum because it was bullshit. So in the first mission where they were rowing the boat, people were like having to sacrifice themselves along the way to get more money into the pot, and then she sacrificed herself, others sacrificed themselves, put themselves at risk for murder, and also were looking like they could be traitors because they don't care about being murdered, like sacrificing themselves. But she didn't realize that part until she had already sacrificed herself. And I do think all the housewives just sacrifice themselves on the boat because they're tired of rowing. They're not the most like physical challenged players that are loving the stress of the mission. So literally all the housewives volunteered to sacrifice, and then everyone ended up suspicious of them. They ended up like eating dinner late, and it was a whole thing. And then the group was so selfish that they didn't even get the full amount of money. They didn't keep going and sacrifice, because no one wanted to agree to sacrifice themselves for the last chunk of money. So they ended up with less money, even though they had time to go get more. It was a mess, and like I would be pissed too if I was them. And I don't know. I feel like the people on Traitors are getting more paranoid every season. I mean, I get why, but also like only 1 or 2 people are gonna win, so people are gonna end up dead and on the chopping block. But anyway, so Dorinda, gone too soon. She iconically yelled at people when she got back from that mission and saw that they had eaten without her and they were just having a chummy time. And she was so funny. And it was such a dumb move to kill her. I'm already getting into Traitor strategy, but everyone has talked about that already. Like, a horrible, horrible move, because she exploded so much that people were suspecting her that she was a traitor. And out of all the people killed, everyone was like, oh, she won't be because she's probably a traitor. And then she got killed. And you never want to kill, obviously, the person that is seeming like a traitor. And Bob is just not a gamer, I don't think, in that way. I mean, nothing compared to, like, these people from the gamer shows. And so he wasn't thinking strategy, like, in a smart way, sadly. But yeah, tragic we lost Dorinda. And then after her, we had our first banishment, and that was Wells. Well, not him. They look the same. Sorry. Wells and Dylan Efron. They look the exact same. So then we had Wells, who he said what I just said, that it was a dumb move, that Dorinda got eliminated because people were suspicious of her. And then Robin and Sam, Britney Spears' ex, sorry, were like, why is he saying that was such a dumb move and like going so hard? And so then they were suspicious of him. And then Bob at the round table accused him at first and then kind of backtracked later. And he was buddy-buddy with Dylan Efron, his twin, and obviously was a faithful, revealed himself as faithful. And then Dylan Efron, that's when he started really going after Bob, but no one else was. And it was so iconic. Oh my god, I can't just talk about Bob. I mean, I guess I can. like, Bob won over all the women because he stood up for them on that first mission. And that is such a Bob thing. Like, people keep saying he's like trying to get screen time. He wants camera time and all this stuff, but like Bob just is obsessed with attention of like the people there, not necessarily the cameras, but also he is very vocal, loud. Like, I feel like if he had been a faithful, he would have been voted out around the same time just for being loud and calling attention to himself so often. Um, and that's a sad thing because, like, had he not been a traitor, I think he would have still been toast in the castle. Um, but anyway, he stood up for the women because all of them were the ones sacrificing themselves. And then he was calling them out. And it was so Bob to call them out and like be mad and be like, guys, we can't keep sacrificing all the women. Like, the men need to step up. Um, so that won him over with all the women. And I feel like he had this force field of protection with a lot of the women. But with the big orchestration in episode 4, Boston Rob, who betrayed him, got enough numbers to pass. But all the women were like really reluctant. And the thing is, Bob isn't a good player, but he is beloved. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I feel like as a faithful, he would have not been good either. He would have like latched on to a random thing that someone did and like voted them out and led everyone like to vote them out, and it would have been a faithful. Like, he would have been one of those players that's like gunning for people and not right probably most of the time because you don't have that much evidence to go off of. So I just think as a faithful, he would have been cooked as well, sadly. But it was so fun that he was a traitor. I'm so glad he was chosen as such because he was so funny. Horribly, horribly played. And he just could not stop yapping. And that's very Bob. And he's also very confrontational, very argumentative naturally. Like, he argues for fun. He, like, does TikTok live debates just for fun. About random topics all the time. His podcast that I listen to, and I've been, like, a huge fan of forever, is the premise is just arguing with his best friend, Monet, another drag queen. And so it's like, he just loves to argue, and that's obviously going to get you targeted no matter what. And he made a big mistake in episode 4 with targeting Rob, even though it was just like such an offhand comment, but also like, why did you have to make that comment? Just don't say anything. Who asked? Like, you just need, in Traitors, you need to know when to be quiet. And, like, that's something Bob is not going to do. So iconic. I love Bob. And I'll keep talking about him. But let me go through episode 3. Okay, who got murdered after Wells? Oh, was it Ayan? I think it was. Chanel Ayan. Yeah, Real Housewives of Dubai. This diva. I was so mad. Like, I know his reasoning for going after housewives is that the housewives are very tight. So, like, I see that, but they're just so entertaining. And also, they're, like, kind of clueless, and they're not gamers, so they don't always have the best strategy. So it was sad to lose Ayan. She was kind of clueless. But the thing is, she was throwing out Bob's name right before she died. So, like, was it totally the wrong move on Bob's part? No. This would have been, like, a great time to kill Dylan. But the missions keep giving out so many shields that, like, maybe Dylan had a shield. I'm not keeping good track of the shields. But this would have been the time to kill Dylan before he started, like, really spreading the Bob thing. It's just the men are really coming together and they're getting tight. And the women are just getting picked off. I mean, we did lose Wells and then we lost Tony. So it's not fully like all the women are gone. But, like, okay, so next banishment was Tony. Where's Tony? It's in alphabetical order. Tony. So, Tony got banished basically on the basis of reputation, which makes sense. Which I'm hoping that means people are going to go for Boston Rob, even though he looks like the big hero right now. But Tony is a dangerous, dangerous Survivor player. He has won the game. Well, whatever. He is like an iconic Survivor player. And, like, I don't hate Tony as much as some people in the Survivor. I don't love him either, but that they're posting on YouTube exit interviews of the players that get banished and killed. And they're really funny. Him and Ian, like, they do them in pairs for the episode, the kill and the banishment. And him and Ian had such funny chemistry in that video. And, like, them interacting was just so funny. And Ian, she's so, like, nutty. She was like, he was like, what do you think of Danielle? Because they find out who the traitors are. And he's like, what do you think of her? And she's like, she has a great ass. And she's just talking about Danielle's ass the whole time. And Tony's like, no. Well, what do you think about her gameplay? And he's trying to, like, bring it back. And he can't really reel her in. And it's really funny. So I recommend that YouTube video. I'm excited to see the next one where Bob and who did he kill? Who was the next kill? Jeremy. They're gonna have a video together, I guess, and that'll be interesting, because Bob will be a traitor, so that he'll be like, haha, I killed you. But yeah, Tony was funny in that video and kind of endearing, surprisingly. Like, I don't find him endearing normally, but just in that video with Ian, he was a little bit endearing and it was funny. Maybe he has softened with age. I don't know. But Tony is a dangerous player, and it's good they got him out, even though he was a faithful, so I guess not that dangerous. But the Survivors, like, people that don't watch in the show, like in the cast, they really don't know what they're in for. And episode 4, oh my god. Episode 4 really felt like a Survivor episode. Like, all the gameplay and strategy was very Survivor. Like, and it makes sense because Boston Rob was in charge and leading the blind side, but, like, just the blind side itself and, you know, whispering here and whispering there, and that's Survivor, and the scrambling of it all, very Survivor. And I mean, I'm very biased. I think Survivor is the superior game of the reality shows. So it makes sense they're targeting some of the survivors. But Tony, they were barking up the wrong tree, sadly, with him. And then it was Jeremy, right? Jeremy died in the triple coffin thing. They chose 3 players to be in the coffins, like, in front of everybody, and then the traitors from there chose one of them to kill. And they had to, like, plead their case. And Jeremy was wild. Again, the Survivor people are wild. He was like, the other 2 girls, Nikki and Sierra, were like, please, don't kill me, please. I'm whatever, pleading for their life. And Jeremy was just like, traitors, if you're out there, I'll work with you. Like, what? In front of all the faithfuls? That was wild, and I was excited to see where that would go. And then they killed him. I was so mad. I think because of Danielle, and she was saying, or he had thrown out her name for a couple episodes. So that's why they killed him. But I was so sad to lose Jeremy. Another Survivor diva down. And I like him better than Tony, at least. And wait, did we lose another? No, we haven't lost another, just Tony. Am I crazy? No. There's so many Survivors. I can't keep track. Jeremy. Yeah. So I was sad to lose Jeremy because he was being a really good faithful, but not in an annoying way. Like, I don't know. Let me know in the comments or chat if do you root for the traitors or do you root for the faithfuls? Or does it depend like who you're a fan of? Or how they're playing? Because for me, I think it's who I'm a fan of, but also there's like a type of faithful that pisses me off a lot. And it's like, it's obvious, like the pilot Peter Pals is exactly what I'm talking about. The Trishelles, and now the Dylan Efron, which I wanted to like Dylan Efron. I really liked his voice because it reminded me of Zach, and it was like nostalgic. It was like a millennial trigger. But he was like becoming like another Pilot Pete, and I don't like that. But Jeremy, I liked him, how he was being a faithful. Like, it was smart and like in tune, but not obnoxious about it. And that's the kind of faithful I root for. Also, Gabby is in this boat for me this season. Just kind of like earnest and trying, but like not so righteous about it. Like Peter and Dylan Efron. I don't know. So it varies for me who I root for. It's like the people that I root for, and whether they're a traitor or faithful, I'll root for them. Sophie always roots for the traitors. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, it's more fun. Like, the faithfuls are annoying because they think they're, like, righteous. I found the traitor. I don't like that. Even though that's the point and they have to. But it was sad to lose Jeremy. He was, like, a cool faithful. And that's everyone we've lost, I think. Well, and then Bob. Okay, then Bob got banished, which was the first traitor they got out. Let me go to Rob because I'm trying to look under B for Boston, but his name is Rob. Yeah. Rob. My feelings about being pro traitor comes from who they had in season 1. Yeah, iconic. I've been watching that season. I'm not done, but I know how it ends. But yeah, like, I will always root for the Survivor women. The men, wishy-washy, depends. I'll root for Jeremy, but I'm not rooting for Boston Rob or Tony, you know? Okay, so Boston Rob came in, and I hated this whole, the 3 grandpas of the apocalypse twist that they had in, like, between episode 1 and 2, and they brought in 3 hardcore gamer guys that, and one of them was Rob. He's a traitor. They had a twist at the beginning where someone could like switch out with him, but obviously who's going to do that and make enemies immediately? But he came in anyway with 2 other guys that don't have photos here. It's Wes from the challenge. I also saw him on House of Villains, but I haven't finished that season. And then Derek from Big Brother. It's kind of the big 3 of the game shows. I mean, I guess, yeah. No, it is. For this show. Survivor, Big Brother, and the challenge. Which I kind of have personal beef with the Big Brothers and the challenges. And I'm so sorry to fans of those shows, but like, the way the Big Brothers have played traitors in past seasons just have pissed me off so bad. Dan last season, don't get me started. It just feels like the gameplay of Big Brother does not translate to Traitors so far. And I'm interested to see. I mean, Danielle is also getting suspected a lot, so it's like I don't think Big Brother translates. Danielle is so far the best one that we've had, but she's being dramatic and crying, and people are onto her for that. But yeah, I don't know that Big Brother translates. So I have kind of beef with the Big Brother players on the show. I did like, what's her name? Janelle or something last season. She played a good faithful. Like, the Big Brother they seem to be good faithfuls, but I don't know about Traitors. And then the challenge, well, season 2 just made me very angry at the challenge because of who was there and who succeeded and who was homophobic and transphobic and racist. I don't know. So they pissed me off. And I know I have so many good friends that love the challenge. I could not get into it. It's just like literally my least favorite part of Survivor, but the whole episode is that, which is the challenges of Survivor. I hate that part. I zone out. So the challenge is not for me. They are really good though at the gameplay, the strategy, and the missions. Like the challenge people shine at the missions, which makes sense. So it's like they play the game well. My beef is just like they annoy me or piss me off. And then the Big Brothers, their personalities or whatever, but their gameplay doesn't really translate well so far. Danielle is gonna get caught soon. She's coming on too strong. Yeah, like so far the Big Brothers have not impressed me with the strategy. Like they just don't match the survivors, and even some of these randos. Like Peter was a bachelor, and Dylan Efron is a brother of a guy, an actor. So it's like I feel like the Big Brothers are just getting outplayed. I don't know. Anyway, so I was annoyed they brought in those 3 guys. It's a lot of guys to bring in when we've lost so many fierce housewives already. And also they're such gamers and they're intense and it's like, it's not as fun. I mean, it is. Depends. I guess what the things they carry out and how they influence. But I don't know. I'm just never going to be a fan of like a bunch of old guys coming in like, ha ha ha, we're here to disrupt this game. Like I was having a lot of fun before they came in. And also, I find Boston Rob pretty overrated in the Survivor fandom. It's a little bit polarizing. He's a Jeff Probst golden boy. Like, Jeff loves him. But I just think he's... And it shows this episode, and I don't think he's going to make it too much further because he just made this move too soon. Like, it was pulled off great, and it was smart, and it was, whatever. But it's just too soon for him to not get found out. Like, soon enough. So, and Survivor, this is classic. Like, whoever orchestrates the first blindside always goes home like in 1 or 2 episodes because everyone has their eyes set on them. And I think all the faithfuls are very like blinded right now, but it's gonna fade and there's still so many dangerous gamers. Like we saw Wes was onto him already and Sandoval was trying to catch up to what Wes was saying. I feel like Sandoval was like, I'm gonna trust him with my life now, and Wes was like, hold on, why would he know 100% that Bob is a traitor? And Sandoval's like, mind blown. So I think Boston Rob's ego is his downfall. Pride will be his downfall, as Bob fans know that quote. And he just got pissed off and his ego got too big and he wanted to be the only king of the turret, and so he went for Bob. He just should have saved it for like one or two more round tables from then, because you need numbers to dwindle. And he should know Bob is not gamer enough to like turn on him first, because in Survivor, the reason you blindside is because if you're not blindsiding your alliance, they might be orchestrating blindsiding you. But in this case, like, Boston Rob knows Bob probably wouldn't betray him as a traitor. And then Carolyn and Danielle seem very loyal as well. So there was no like rush for Boston Rob to do this vote yet and orchestrate this blindside. So I just think he's peaking too soon, and it's classic, and it's not going to work out for him in the long run. Hopefully Wes and the challengers come in handy and, you know, figure him out, because he's looking really good at the end of episode 4. Yeah, I think Sophie says, I think Rob is cooked now. I was telling Matt, he sounds way too confident. And then Wes said that. Yeah, Rob was really confident. And there's still too many gamers and smart people left in the game for Rob to get away with this. Maybe if the housewives had sticked around and Wes and Derek and like these big dogs were gone, maybe he would have had a better chance. But he should have saved it anyway. Like, he could have killed Wes next killing. But and Sandoval is like 10 steps behind. Yeah, absolutely. Sandoval, I mean, we'll get to him. But yeah, anyway, I was annoyed, and there's no picture for Wes and Derek. Like I said, I don't watch their shows, and I have beef with their shows. But I mean, I've seen Wes in House of Villains. He seems level-headed. His theory about Nikki, though, came out of nowhere and was kind of like, okay, guy, you got nothing to go off of. But I was rooting for the traitors when Bob was there, so I was like, go Wes, accuse a random girl that has nothing to do with anything. And then Derek, babyface Derek, I don't know much about him, but I don't know. I feel like they're gonna be the ones to lead getting Boston Rob out of here, because they're smart and they know that one of them three probably is a traitor, and I don't know. We'll see. But I'm so annoyed at Boston Rob, and he's so overrated. Like, he's not that good at Survivor. He always does shit like this. He's like too abrasive, too fast, too soon, and doesn't know how to like fly under the radar, you know? But it made good TV, and it was funny to see him go toe-to-toe with Bob. That last round table was so fun. Let me, do I have the, I think I do. This moment was everything. Zac Efron catching strays. Love that. And I'm so ridiculous how people reacted to this as if, oh my god, clutch my pearls. You know, Bob said Zac Efron's not a good actor. Like, also, Dylan kept saying, Bob is such a great actor. It's like, Bob is not much of an actor for a living. He's a drag queen. It's a different type of gig. Like, for most of, I mean, Bob does act, but that's like job number 5 on his list of jobs he does. So it's like, I don't know why Dylan kept saying Bob is an actor, like an actor. But yeah, this was so funny at Zac Efron. And then it's just like, this is just very typical drag queen shade that doesn't mean anything. Like, Bob was not even thinking about Zac Efron or his acting or his opinion on his acting. Like, I doubt Bob has ever seen Zac Efron in an acting role, you know? It's just like very basic drag queen shade. If you go to a drag show, there's a possibility you'll get picked on and it'll be rude and it'll be funny. So it was just like a funny read, and I don't think it was anything, but it was, I think, Dolores, the housewife, who reacted also very strong, like, that's out of line, that's out of pocket. And I think it's because on Bravo, like at reunions and stuff, whenever people come for someone's family, it becomes like a huge deal, and everyone's like, don't bring my family into this, and it's like a thing on Bravo. I feel like to not cross the lines of family, just to, I think it's just like a Bravoism to like make drama and be like offended, and because Bravo's all about melodrama. And so I think the housewives are very used to, like, if someone comes for your family, you have to be like, oh my God, no. Like, that's not true. Like, I don't know. It's so goofy. So, I don't know. It was just funny. And he's, I think, come out on social media like, whatever, it's no hard feelings. And, you know, it's just funny. That killed me, though. What did you say? The caption of this post. Oh, I didn't even see. Oh, yeah. I don't think my brother, the star of Hairspray the musical, the movie, would be too pleased to hear about this. Yeah, exactly. Zac Efron is great. And I firmly believe Bob has not seen. Bob has probably. I'm sure Bob has seen Hairspray, actually. But yeah, he was just being funny because Bob is a comedian. Bob is a comedian before he is an actor, and he's just always going to go for the joke. And that was just a really funny thing to say. And Sophie said, I find Dylan kind of lovable. He seemed like a Pete at first, but he's like kind of shy. Oh no, you're falling for the spell. Just kidding. I mean, he just annoys me for targeting Bob, even though it was accurate, and that's a good, faithful thing to do. And I like his voice, but I don't know. I'm just like, also, I hate how he's like, oh, Boston Rob, you're the only one I trust. Like, if you're so smart, you know, be a little wary of just a guy that seems so confident. But Dylan's not a gamer, so I don't know if he's thinking in that layered way. I feel like it's going to be only the gamers are going to see through Boston Rob, and the other people are kind of like, he's just so good. He's so smart. There's no other layers to it. Hopefully not, but we'll see. Okay, that's Bob. Let me talk about the other traitors. I'll get to Carolyn. Danielle. So Danielle is probably the next traitor that's going to be caught, even though she did get out Jeremy, who was saying her name. Also, Tony was, in his exit interview thing, he talked about, like, she was being weird and so over emotional, so he was kind of thinking onto her too. And but Ian was like, oh no, she was so sad, like she was believing all the crying. So maybe the housewives are more like receptive to the emotion or more used to it or whatever. And so I think it's more like the guys that are looking at Danielle like, is she doing too much and being extra? And she kind of is. So at first I feel like it was kind of working, but then it was just like too much, like crying at breakfast, and she's just doing the most. And also she like says things that are kind of a lot sometimes. And let's see. Dylan might figure Rob out, but yeah, he wasn't able to get Bob on his own. Oh yeah, definitely not. It was hard to get the votes because all the women were so indebted to Bob. Dreadful Ruby says, Danielle is my all-time favorite Big Brother player. She is a mess on this. Yeah, I mean, I would love to hear what the big thing is. I mean, it seems like she was really betrayed by this Brittany girl who has had like no screen time, but she's there as a faithful still. This lady, Brittany, and yeah, I'm wondering, like, I feel like nothing has come of this because Danielle is way too afraid to, like, kill Brittany or go after her because she feels like she'll be pinpointed very quickly, which might be the case. But yeah, I don't know their beef. It sounds juicy, to be honest. And Danielle is cool. I loved, obviously, the moment where her and Bob get off the raft or sacrifice themselves and they're trying to sell to each other that they're faithful, and then at the turret they're like jumping up and down together, laughing that they're traitors. It seems like they have a really deep friendship now, which makes sense, and I think is really cute. Her and Bob, I love that. But yeah, I mean, what kind of player was she on Big Brother? I don't feel like Big Brother translates that well into Traitors. It's just a different game, and it has such a like complex format. I feel like that like is a very specific kind of skill set, and Traitors is a totally different kind. That was just on Big Brother Reindeer Games last December. Oh, that was their beef was recent. Danielle was in the final 2 in season 3. She was robbed because the jury wasn't sequestered, so they went home and heard everything she had said. Wow. Yeah, from the clips I've seen, her Big Brother season happened way long time ago. Like season 3? Oh my god. That's wild. That's a long time ago. And yeah, she's like 52 now. I learned that when Ian was talking about her ass and how good it was. That's Ian's fault, but I didn't realize she was like older. So, and okay, she's the best to never win. That kind of feels like Suri in Survivor, honestly. That's who I would give that title to. On Survivor. Definitely Suri. Best to never win. They changed the rules for season 4 because of her loss. Yeah, it's like early, what is it called? I was going to say hamster. Like testing trial, the rats. I don't know what I'm saying, but like it's the early trial seasons. And oh god. That's annoying. That's annoying for her. And so the Brittany thing, I guess, happened more recent because Big Brother has these spin-off shows. I have heard of Reindeer Games. I don't know what it is, but I've heard of it quite a lot. So good for her. I mean, she's getting a lot of screen time and she's really fun. I prefer her so much more over Dan or whatever the guy was in season 1 from Big Brother. So I was glad. I was honestly surprised Alan picked another Big Brother for Traitor. I'm like, save it for later because the last 2 have been a mess. And Danielle is not the best either, but she's not the worst of the Big Brother traitors. So I've liked her a lot so far. This is my first exposure to her. Okay, and then our third traitor, we already talked about Boston Rob. He just wants to be king of the turret. And he hasn't had much say, I feel like, in the killings yet. But next time, he's going to be calling the shots. I know it. Carolyn, the third traitor. And she's like, poor Carolyn. No one listens to her. This is very on brand for her. She's very kooky. She's kind of like very, I guess, neurodivergent. She's socially awkward. She struggles to communicate at times. And it's so hard because she literally has the best instincts in the turret, and then these other dumb egotistical bitches, Bob and Boston Rob, are like making all the decisions, and she's like no, let's not kill Dorinda because people are suspecting her and we could, you know, put the target on her. Or let's not kill Ian because she is easily confused. Like, they were trying to put her in the coffins for the coffin thing, and she's like, no, I'm not doing that. So like she's playing the smartest game, and I love her. Let's see, Dreadful Ruby, for sure. Suri will be on Australian Survivor versus the World this year. Oh my God, Survivor does versus the World. I thought that was a Drag Race thing. That's crazy. Interesting. I'm excited. I haven't seen any Australian Survivors, but I've heard so many good things. It's like, I feel like it's been in its golden era the past couple of years compared to like the American Survivor, and it's gotten a lot of buzz. So that's interesting they're doing like an All-Stars mix kind of thing. And Parvati and Tony too. That's Australian Survivor is coming for America's crown for sure. And Sophie says, Carolyn has really grown on me. The other traitors just steamroll her. Yeah. And that's so Carolyn. She was the same way on Survivor. Like, she would have such a good read on everything going on. And then people just wouldn't listen because she's like kind of weird and, you know, is kooky and is like that. And people just like think, oh, she's just crazy or something, when she's like literally the one saying the most accurate things all the time. So yeah, I'm sad for Carolyn, but I feel like she has the best chance to make it to the end because no one's suspecting her, and she can hide behind her kookiness with the faithfuls at least, even though, you know, I feel like the traitors don't take her as serious because she's like has different opinions. I feel like the faithful, it does help her with the faithfuls to be a little weird, because they're not like questioning her as much. And all of the exit interview people have been really surprised that she is a traitor. Australian Survivor is doing it. Half of the cast is Australian. It's so good. I have heard. I need to take the plunge. It's just American Survivor has like 2 seasons a year, so I feel like I'm always freaking watching American Survivor, so it's a lot to keep up. But maybe with the All-Stars mixed in, I'll watch it, or I'll start. And Dreadful Ruby, rooting for Carolyn big time. Yeah, me too. That's why I'm still rooting for the traitors, even though stupid Boston Rob is there. But I'm hoping Carolyn and Danielle, if Danielle can make it, band together, betray Boston Rob, because Carolyn, as much as she is like kooky and getting steamrolled, she's still a Survivor player, and Survivor players are just built different. I'm so sorry to the other fandoms. And so she is smart and she's strategic. And she played Survivor. So the Survivors just get it. And I feel like she's going to make it far. And I'm excited to see if the traitors recruit and who they would recruit. And I hope it'd be someone good because they need some help. With Boston Rob being so confident, Danielle being so emotional, Carolyn's like carrying the team with the stealth, and she needs backup. I don't know. Australian Survivor has 3 episodes a week when it's on. Are you joking? Jesus Christ. What do they put in that? Just like extra footage? Them at the beach? That's wild. Okay, let's talk about, let me go through some of the other cast. I talked about the traitors and the people that died and banished. Bob Harper, he had kind of a sweet moment this last episode and struggled with the challenge, and he had like a heart attack, so it was nice to hear his backstory. I don't know him, and also The Biggest Loser was such a like era of TV that I had forgotten about, quite frankly. But he's nice, and I'm glad he's there, and he's representing for LGBT because we're dwindling down here. Okay, with Bob the Drag Queen, we talked about Bob. I love Bob. Like, I've been on his Patreon, like, 5 years at this point. Um, so I feel like Bob is my cousin. Like, I know him so well. Um, Brittany. Okay, Brittany, poor girl, has had no screen time. I don't know anything about her. I know she, like, betrayed Danielle or something. That's it. That's it. I don't know. I don't know this woman. She's one. The ones I don't know, let me know what y'all know about them and what you think, what traits you think will come out in this season or will help them in this game. Because poor Brittany, we don't know. She's had like the least screen time. Carolyn, we talked about, love her. I recommend her season a lot. That's my favorite new era Survivor season, 44, for sure. Ian, R.I.P. Diva Down. Oh, Chriselle. I know Chriselle. I've seen Selling Sunset actually. So she made a cameo. I feel like in one of the goofy Christmas Netflix movies I watched this year, she was like there randomly. Was it Hot Frosty? I think. Yeah, I think in Hot Frosty she was like there for a second. And I was like, why is Chriselle Strauss here? But good for her. I love her. I haven't watched like later seasons of Selling Sunset, but she's fierce. And is she gay now? I feel like that was like a thing, but I don't want to. I'm not sure if she like came out as bi or something or lesbian. Brittany is hilarious. She was America's favorite player in a confessional. Oh my god, yeah, I've heard about Brittany that she was a confessional queen, and I'm just like, give her some freaking screen time then. That's so messed up. Yeah, she was in Hot Frosty like for a second at the beginning. Like it was like a cameo, I think. And it was so fast, like I kind of mentioned it when we watched it, but it was just like a second. And if you don't know her, I guess she just looks like a LA influencer girl. But she's playing well. Oh, she had a funny moment with Sandoval because she's friends with Ariana. And that's so funny. Like, oh, that was so funny. She voted for him like at one of the round tables just for that. Just like, I know you can lie and cheat. I have nothing else, no other evidence here. So, Tom Sandoval, it is. That's hilarious. And I love that she's been throwing shade at Tom and reading him, and like saying he has Spock eyebrows or whatever. Sierra Miller, I don't know her from Summer House. Maybe Pam can tell me if she ever watches this, what her vibe is. My friend Pam that recently binged Summer House. That one, I'm not, I haven't seen much aside from that first episode. And yeah, oh, she was getting, okay, last episode, she was getting pinned for cursing. That was so random. Like, oh my god, was it Derek that was like, oh, that's the tell that someone's guilty is they start cursing? Like, sir, you just made that up. What? I mean, probably in some cases, who knows, but like, this is, I don't know. No. She was like scared and frustrated in the moment. So it seems logical to curse. That was just goofy, and she got lucky. And her and Nikki both got lucky that Boston Rob decided to betray his own team, and they got saved. So I don't think people will be that on to her. I don't know that much about her, but maybe people will think she's still a traitor. I don't know. Okay, we talked about Danielle. She's fierce. Dolores. Yeah, I mean, she's been kind of smart, and I think Bob mentioned she has the most street smarts out of the housewives, and she was suspecting Bob in episode 4. We saw with Dylan, like, she wasn't ready to pounce, but she was suspicious, and she was right. So we haven't seen her too much. She was the one that was, like, very offended by the Zac Efron, not a good actor comment. But I think that's just a Bravo thing. Yeah, I don't know that much about her, but she seems smart. Like one of the smarter housewives. Um, I guess y'all that have watched this, what's the vibe with her and Dorinda? Or were they like, I guess they were on the raft together. They seem fine. I don't know if they have a history or they're friends or whatever. So goofy. Derek was only good at Big Brother because no one knew he was a cop. Sierra is great. Her fashion is best left besides Ian or Alan. Alan coming. I thought it was a typo. We were so robbed of Ian's, for sure. Yeah, Sierra's cute. Don't know too much about her, but she was being targeted for no reason. Dorinda, we talked about her. I honestly, oh wait, New Jersey and New York City. Sorry, I thought Dorinda was New Jersey too. Okay, I low-key want to watch her Housewives season. She was like that funny. I don't know. Let me know if that's a good one. Or if there's certain seasons that are good. That's the thing with the Housewives that have gone on like over 10 years. I'm like, there's got to be eras when it's better than others, right? And do I have to watch it all to get it? Gato. Sorry, Gato's being weird. The Good Housewives went home. Dorinda's as wild as it gets and would have been so good at the round table. Granted, I don't know the other two. Yeah, for real. I mean, the most big personality housewives were the ones that went home. Like, we can tell that for sure. Sad. I love the housewives, even though I don't watch their shows that much. Dylan Efron. Okay. Polarizing guy, the most faithful of the faithfuls right now. Less obnoxious than Pete, but still getting on my nerves with his faithfulness. But yeah, I mean, he was struggling and he doesn't have like the pull and the power trip that Peter has yet. Maybe after this episode he will, because he was right and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, you were right all along. So they're going to trust him maybe. And I wonder if that'll go to his head like Pete, but we haven't seen that yet with Dylan Efron. Mr. Efron. He has a name. There was this whole exchange on Twitter that was really funny about him because people were calling him Zac Efron's brother. But he's smart. He's one of these like surprising, good intuition players that is not a gamer. And I feel like that's where his downfall will be when he messes up. It's like he won't be thinking like the 5 steps ahead that some of the survivors and other gamers think. But he does have a really good intuition. He was on to Bob. He like paid attention when it counted, and eventually helped to get him out. Even though it was like Boston Rob all the way, that actually persuaded people. But he just didn't have the pull. And also, like, I feel like it's hard for these rando celebrities because they don't have like network alliances like Bravo, or like show alliances like Big Brother and Survivor. So it's not as natural. Like, he doesn't have like an automatic buddy or a few buddies. So it's hard to like persuade people when you don't have anybody that you know from outside. And he said he was a fan of Survivor though. So actually, I'm remembering that now in like episode 1. He like knew all the Survivor. Oh my God, that's why he loves Rob and trusts him, because he's like a fan. I forgot about all that. Okay, he's a fan. So he's just fangirling a little bit, which is fine. I would too. On Boston Rob. I remember now. He's a fan. Okay, I do appreciate him for that. He's a fan of Survivor. I trust that. I like that. But yeah, good for him. Making a name for himself. Okay, oh my God, Gabby. I love her. I think I'm rooting for her the most at this point. She's really fun. I don't know if I saw her season. I don't know if she was on Dancing with the Stars or something. Like, I've seen her in something, but I don't really watch The Bachelor or Bachelorette. So, like, I don't know when I saw her. But I love her. And Did she say she's a lesbian now? That's fierce. And she has a really good intuition. Unfortunately, she's kind of like questioning herself because she doesn't seem to have like a huge ego or anything that is like making her think everything she does is right or thinks is right. So she's like, she's having good intuition. She almost caught them at the bookcase, and she did catch Danielle. She heard her, but she's just like kind of lacking in confidence. And it makes sense. Again, she's not from a gamer show, so she's not trusting her instincts. But oh, she's so good, and I love her, and she's funny. And they made the Bambi alliance, and it's so cute. I'm just rooting for the girlies. Like, they're sweet and cute and smart, and she's getting it. So I really hope she sticks around and does not die or something. Please don't kill my Gabby. That would be tragic. Jeremy, we talked about him. R.I.P. Love him. I hate this guy, the royal guy. Like, why do they have to add a royal British person all the time? Like, he rubbed me the wrong way at the beginning when he was mad at Bob for, like, sticking up for the women and stuff. And he's gay, so he's LGBT representation too, but I don't know, he just annoyed me. He just gave like old school gender roles vibes. So glad, there's still some gays around after Bob left, but he's I don't know. He just rubs me the wrong way. And also he's royal, so I'm just like, eat the rich. I don't know. Ivar starts speaking, I fall asleep. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't had much screen time, honestly, after the first episode. So he kind of hasn't bothered me that much lately, it feels like. But I'm still like, I didn't like him at the beginning. Like, get him out. I wanted him out or voted out or killed or something, because he just doesn't add anything that entertaining. And yeah, like, I don't care. I don't care. He's Harry and Meghan's cousin. Like, I'm not a royals person. Some people are. He's representing for the royals. He's also the one on the boat who kept saying we need more men even after they got rid of only women. That's what I'm saying. That from then on, I hated him. And he just, like, every time I see him, I'm just like, misogynist. I hate him. So, I don't know. Whatever. Bye. Okay, Nikki. Her also I feel like I've seen before, but I don't watch wrestling. WWE, I guess. I can't tell what any of those things are. I don't know. She's fine. She's there. She's kind of honestly really tame for a wrestler. She's kind of, I guess, maybe she views this show as being like out of drag and not in drag in her whatever persona she is. I know there's heels and there's the other one, the heroes, the good guys. I don't know what they're called. I don't know if she's a heel or a good guy, good girl. But she's honestly kind of demure for a wrestler who is kind of like a drag queen, but violent, I guess, is what I view them as. She was also getting accused this last episode, and Wes was really gunning for her randomly just because she's an entertainer. And it's like, Bob is right there too. But I was happy he was going for her. I don't care that much about her since she's not adding that much entertainment. I'm like, get her out, I guess. I'm just sad for Gabby, who is her bestie. But Nikki herself isn't adding too much. Maybe the wrestling fans can tell me what her vibe is and her strengths are. But she's just kind of there. She hasn't had that much screen time, honestly. Boston Rob, we know. Oh, Robin. Okay, Robin. She's from Potomac Housewives. I'm liking Robin a lot. I think she's vocal and interesting, and she's wrong a lot, but it's kind of funny. And I don't know, like, she got in that argument with Wells right at the beginning that got Wells banished eventually. She sacrificed herself, and she said, I would do it again for the team on the boat. Um, she just has a fun energy. She's kind of like almost like the MJ of this season. Um, so like I like her. She's cool. She's not very like attuned with who's a traitor and faithful. But I don't care. I want her to stay. Let her stay. Sophie says, yeah, it's funny they keep calling her a performer because she's on WWE. Like, everyone here is a performer, too. Yeah, I mean, the housewives, hello, they are performing for the cameras, you know, in their own way. So, yeah, Wes was just out of nowhere. But yeah, Robin's cool. I worry she's going to be, like, pinpointed as a traitor somehow, and she's not going to be able to defend herself. I mean, she had, like, a whole thing where they voted for her almost a lot, like enough to get her out, but luckily she didn't. We need to protect our housewives. They're endangered in this game. Okay. Sam Asghari. Oh my god, don't get me started on Sam Asghari. Like, what is he doing here? Like, I could not believe this man got cast just for being Britney Spears' ex. Like, that's so... And he's so dumb and just there. I'm like, oh, God, this man. This man. And then he said one morning at breakfast, like, oh, I'm wearing Britney's thing. And everyone was like, Britney? And I think he meant the Big Brother one. But I don't know. It wasn't clear. So people were trying to ask him questions. Or, like, I think Robin asked if Britney watches Housewives. And he declined to answer. So he's just there for, like, whatever magic Britney rubbed off on him. Because we don't have access to Britney, sadly. Like, it's just he's such a, like, moocher, I don't know. And useless at this game. He's just a body. Okay, finally, Tom Sandoval. I'm so glad I watched Vanderpump Rules, like, is it 2 years ago now? Yeah, I'm so lost on him, because isn't he known for being a shitty boyfriend to Brittany? Yeah, husband, I think they got married, and divorced. But, yeah, that's all he's done. That's it. Tom Sandoval, that's crazy he's there. And the pit stains, don't get me started on the pit stains, the sweat. This guy, I mean, the big theory is that he is detoxing from drugs. It sounds serious that he's been, like, kind of going harder on the drugs in the recent couple years. And he's detoxing probably during this experience, and sweating it out. But, oh God, Tom Sandoval is just... Like, episode 1, all he cares about is how he looks. He's mad at the photo they have of him, and he's, like, trying to be cool, and, like, and he's always, like, saying, oh, Bob is definitely a faithful. Oh, Carolyn's definitely a faithful. Danielle's definitely... Like, he's always pinpointing the traitors and saying they're faithful. It's like, oh, God. I think... I don't know if I worry or I'm happy about this, but I feel like he's going to make it far, because why would the traitors ever kill him when he's always so off about who is the traitor? He's like a perfect goat to keep around. And the way, like, when they choose traitors, he's, like, looking at everybody like, like, he's just so bizarro now, and I don't know. And Chriselle threw shade at him. Was it on Watch What Happens or something with Andy Cohen? And said that she backed up the theory of, like, she thought he was detoxing in the castle, using kind of code words. But yeah, he's sweating, and he is guessing things and being wrong. So honestly, I hope he sticks around, just because it's, like, funny to see him be, like, 10 steps behind what's going on. And the shade that Alan threw at him, episode 1, where he's like, would you feel betrayed if I made you a traitor? And Tom says yes. And Alan's like, doesn't feel so good, does it? I died. That was such a funny Alan moment. Top tier Alan moment this season. We talked about Tony. We talked about Wells. I think that's everybody. That's the cast. Well, what do y'all think is going to happen moving forward? I think Carolyn has the best chance. I think there will be a recruitment. Who should they recruit if they recruit? I would say not Dylan. They better not make the same mistake as last season. They'll probably recruit a guy. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe one of the new guys. Derek or Wes. I don't think they would do a housewife. I don't think they'd do a woman since there's Danielle and Carolyn there. I don't know. We're running out of people to recruit. It'd be kind of smart to recruit like Tom Sandoval as a shield or something. Because everyone just thinks he's a traitor by nature. Oh, maybe Brittany would be a good recruit. I don't know. Not Dylan. He would reject it. Yeah, it'd be like a Pete situation. One of the new guys. Yeah, I think Wes and Derek would get the most mileage because they're gamers. Yeah, I feel like they wouldn't go for the girlies. The men are tight this season. It's going to be interesting. I hope Wes stays on the Rob train and spreads that. I mean, maybe they'd recruit the royal guy. He's kind of like inconspicuous. I don't know. If it's Rob and Carolyn, Wes or Derek. If it's Danielle and Carolyn, maybe Tom, Nikki, or Ciara. Brittany wouldn't be bad either. I feel like recruiting Brittany for Danielle would be like saving her from like having to like kill her, and she's like really scared of getting pinned, so I think that would like avoid all that, and they could be on the same team, you know, instead of opposite. But yeah, it's been I'm excited for the season. I love Thursday nights. Also, I'm watching Severance, and that's a whole other can of worms, and I'm obsessed. But now Thursday night, they come out at the same time every week. I'm so mad about that. Well, not mad, actually. I'm excited. Thursday nights are like Christmas Day every time now for the next few weeks. Because I watch Traitors, then Severance, and have a night of amazing TV. And I love Traitors. I love season 2. I'm enjoying season 1 as well. I'm watching that. I haven't finished it. Sari is just such a fierce diva. I love her. And if Danielle gets banished, it would seem less likely that another woman from Big Brother was also a traitor. That's a good point. Such a trip. Yeah. I don't know if you mean Traitors or Severance, but yeah, both. It's such a fun time seeing all these reality stars from all different shows interact. Honestly, I just kind of want a girlies season of Trade. Here, wish list. I wish they made more seasons of Traitors, because like once a year, that's ridiculous. I think they could scale down the missions. I think the missions are too hard, first of all. Like, too much. The ones with the bugs, that's so disgusting. And you're putting, like, non-gamers through that. It's too much. Like, I don't enjoy when it's, like, the bug ones. It just seems disgusting. And that's just me being a girly girl, but no way. And so I feel like if Traitors scaled back the missions a bit, made them more manageable, maybe add more puzzles or something, or trivia, like more like Big Brother type of challenges. Like the challenges are on Big Brother are weird and hard, but they do different things, and a lot of them are like brain hard, and not so like physically like hard. So I don't love the missions. Okay, and y'all are agreeing. That's okay. I thought I'd be unpopular opinion, but it's just too much. Like, who cares? And we just want to see them interact anyway. So scale down the missions. Make 2 seasons of Traitors US and UK, because people are also enjoying UK right now. A year, like, just keep them churning them out. There's so many reality stars. Like, the possibilities are endless. So I just wish we had more seasons, and we scaled back a little bit on the missions. Like, I feel like that budget could accommodate a whole other season if you scale it back. And yeah, make like a girlies season or like have themes, I don't know. But imagine all housewives, all Bravo. Well, they wouldn't do. Well, actually they would. It's Peacock. They would do that. They wouldn't do like all Survivor, CBS, but maybe on all Bravo Traitors. It's not everyone's cup of tea, not for the gamers, but I bet it'd be funny. It'd be funny as hell. More Drag Race contestants. There's so many. There's so many queens. And they're all very entertaining. Like, imagine a plain Jane and a Mistress Isabel Brooks in the Traitor's house. What else is on my wish list? I mean, maybe I know this would be controversial, but instead of like the royals and stuff, like maybe an influencer, someone famous from the internet would be interesting and would represent kind of like a different facet. And a lot of these people already are influencers. That's kind of their adjacent job, or it intersects a lot, their job as reality stars. It's kind of the same. So someone famous from the internet. I mean, hopefully not like Mr. Beast, gross, but somebody, or a Twitch streamer, like someone that's like internet savvy, and see how they do. It'd be interesting. I like the nepotism thing, like Zac Efron's brother. That's like a funny category. Or, I mean, Britney Spears' ex, I don't like the guy because he was shitty, but people like that I approve of, like adjacent celebrities. Yeah, I just think they could pump these seasons out more. That's all. But I'm excited for the rest of the season. I count down to every episode. Dreadful. Okay, Sophie says, the shield arguments are annoying too. It's always the women going like, I'll sacrifice myself, and then getting called a traitor for it. Yeah, true. And they're giving out way too many shields this season. Like, there will be like 5 people to choose to kill. It's too much. I feel like last season it was just like 1 or 2 shields per mission. It's too much. Dreadful Ruby says, I've stopped watching UK until I'm done with US. The format twists and missions are almost all exactly the same. Enough with the random UK royal politician. Yeah, I don't care for the politicians. I just don't like politics like that. But you ever watch Dreadful Ruby, do I watch Claim to Fame? That's like one of the best reality shows on television. And they should have Claim to Fame people on this show, first of all. Because it's like 2 birds with 1 stone. It's a celebrity relative and a reality TV competitor. And the strategy on Claim to Fame is mind-boggling. From season 1, they just started at like advanced survivor level strategy, and I always say this about Claim to Fame. It's like one of my favorite shows. This last season was not my favorite, but I think it was just like the cast and how like the eliminations went, but the strategy on that show is just like insanity for being like a brand new baby show. It's like, Dylan would have been good on... No, Dylan... Are you joking? Dylan would have been found out so fast. His voice is like a clone of Zac Efron. It would have been funny, though. I mean, they have had obvious people on Claim to Fame, so he would have been cool, but I guess he doesn't count because he did the docu-series, Zac Efron, the down-to-earth thing. I'd love to see Nick Cannon's brother. I don't know him. Maybe he has children. He has a lot of children. Maybe one of them is of age to be on there. Yeah, Claim to Fame is so freaking good. It's one of the best social strategy reality shows currently airing. I say so as a Zac Efron fan, but I don't hear it at all. Girl, well, you didn't watch High School Musical like I did. And I feel like if there's any millennial women on the Claim to Fame cast with Dylan, they would clock it right away. Like, like, close your eyes, it's Zac Efron. He won season 2? Oh, wait. That was... Well, I forgot who wins Claim to Fame. Who even won the first season? Was it the cowboy guy? The country people always have an advantage because, like, who knows country stars? Oh my god. Girl, I forgot who won any season of Claim to Fame. I just know they were slay. Oh my god. What was his name? Maybe that'll jog my memory. I'm gonna look it up. Sorry, my keyboard is wild. Claim to Fame season 2 winner. Gabriel Cannon. Oh my god. Yes. Oh, sorry. Spoilers for Claim to Fame. Don't watch this. Wow. Yeah, I remember here. Well, oh, you can't see anymore. Yeah, he would be fun. He would be fun. So many people from Claim to Fame would be great on this show. They need to expand. This guy. Oh gosh. This guy. Yes. Season 1 and 2 were really fierce. Season 3 was a little less fierce, but I'm still watching. This is a great show. Yeah, he was great. Well, that's Traitors so far. Let me know what you think so far, theories, anything. And maybe I'll do more live streams like after the next bunch of episodes or the next episode if a lot happens. It depends, I guess. I guess. I want to live stream more. And I want to talk about Traitors on my channel because I'm watching and y'all might be watching. Also, when are we going to get Love is Blind representation on Traitors? Like, House of Villains did it. We need some Netflix blood as well. And maybe then my audience will be really watching Traitors. I don't know how much my audience watches Traitors and is keeping up and likes all these other crazy shows that I watch. So let me know. Let me know if you're watching. Let me know if you would watch Love is Blinders and Too Hot to Handlers and what's the other one? Ultimatumers. Yeah, no Love is Blinders. That's surprising. I mean, a lot of them are unhinged. Like, so many of them would be good for that. They had Shake on House of Villains, but we don't need more Shake. Maybe one of the girlies would be fun. Maybe the Megan Fox girl. She'd be fun. She'd be crying about something. Yeah. So, thanks for hanging out with me on this Saturday night. Woohoo, party. And today I filmed a few YouTube videos that I'm excited to edit tomorrow. And I'm probably going to go rewatch Severance, the premiere episode, for the 3rd time. Because I can't get enough. I can't get enough. I'm trying to look for clues, and I'm being tortured to wait for
a whole week for the next episode. Like, I need to know. Netflix would be smart to create a show where they bring in different casts from their shows, but a strategy game, not like I think so many there's like with the success of Traitors, there should be more shows like this. I don't know why networks kind of struggle to do it right. Maybe it's like a lot of egos and stuff. I don't know what it is. Oh my god, TikTok is officially down. Breaking news. No. Oh my god. Tyler has taken the reins from Shake. I mean, yeah, we got some villainous men. We don't need Tyler on Traitors. He's already enough of a traitor. Oop. No way. But TikTok, RIP. I mean, I think it'll come back. I don't know. That's so sad. Like, I like scrolling. I'm not like a TikTok addict, really. Because I don't like being on social media with sound on a lot of the time. But when I go on TikTok, I love it. It's so fun. And I love my algorithm. I don't know. I'm sad. There's the goat too. It's funny. Oh yeah, the goat. I watched like half of that season and then got distracted with like new stuff, but it was really funny. I love Reza. I mean, he's crazy, but he was really funny on that show. And they had Love Is Blinders. They had Lauren. That was a good variety. That show needed more marketing or something. Oh, and it had Kristen Doty. Yeah. Oh my god, I need to keep watching that. I fell off. There's too much TV these days. I can't keep up. That was on Amazon Prime. Really funny, really goofy, like House of Villain vibes. Yeah. Well, I guess I should go. I might play a game. I don't know, on live stream. I've been thinking about, or I bought this game called Crush Island that I think Sophie had put me onto it. And it's like you produce your own Love Island kind of video game. And I feel like that'd be fun as a game. I want to stream regularly. I'm having trouble committing to a day. A lot of it is also because of the TV that comes out. Like, I don't want to miss my shows. I need a sacrifice, I guess. I'm thinking maybe Wednesday nights for gaming. But I'm not sold on it, so don't quote me. At least maybe play a game Wednesday nights till I finish it. I also have been so bad at committing to a game. I start a game and then abandon it. The Ultimatum game I abandoned because it was just so much reading. I forget how much reading. I just have to read. It's like I'm reading a book to y'all, which is that I don't think that's that much fun to watch. I mean, I want to know where the story goes, but it's just like it's like reading a book on live, and that's a lot. And there's like so many characters, so it's like doing voices and stuff. I'm not a voice actress. So yeah, I'm thinking Crush Island might be a fun reality TV themed game to try out. Yeah, so that's kind of the plan. I was kind of MIA for my channel because I was sick around New Year's with whatever weird flu everyone got around the holidays. And I'm better now, but oh, it was a rough time. I was sick for like 2 weeks. That was a long time. And I'm trying to get back into it. I filmed a video today. I don't want to even say what it was about because it's kind of scary. Well, it's not that scary, but it's a big one, big topic. And yeah, so thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your Traitors thoughts in the comments if you're watching later. And subscribe if you haven't already. I have my button, maybe. You can follow me at Miscellaneous. I guess not on TikTok anymore. Not really on Twitter. I don't post on there. I do look at it, but I don't post. And, oh, maybe now. There we go. Only on Instagram, really, do I post. And I didn't even post that I was live. Oops. But, yeah, check out hopefully more live streams. And hopefully more Traitors talk as the season goes on. I'm still excited, even though Bob, his days were numbered. Even if it wasn't this episode, I was like, it's coming. So I was prepared mentally. He was yapping too much, even though I love him. And yeah, so thanks so much for watching, and hope you have a good night and good rest of the weekend. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.